Hello all and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Apple TV series Defending Jacob while doing a makeup look inspired by this very t-shirt or sweatshirt that I'm wearing right now. So let's get into it. Okay, hello guys. First what I'm going to do is put on some primer. This look is inspired by the tie-dye shirt that you guys just saw in my intro, and I'm going to be doing this look with the James Charles Morphe palette. This is kind of a tutorial, because I'm going to show you guys what color, I'm going to tell you guys what color they use and show you how I'm doing it. But also not really a tutorial because I'm not a professional makeup artist, so I can't really tell you how to do things properly. But if you want to follow along and you have the James Charles palette and you want to do this look, go ahead. So I'm just putting on some eye primer. I like to do 2 coats just to make sure it's all covered and that I can get the eyeshadow on nicely. And I'm using the wrong finger right now, but it's fine. Supposed to be using the ring finger. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Defending Jacob, the Apple TV series, because something about this show kind of frustrated me. And it's a little thing, but I wanted to talk about it because I just spent all of yesterday watching the whole first season, which is actually the only season. I googled it and there will not be a season 2, unfortunately. It was a really good show though. Chris Evans is in it. He stars as Jacob's father, Andy, and then this other woman, I don't remember what her real name is. She's Andy's mother. Her name is, oh shoot, what's her name? Yikes, I don't even remember her name. You know what, she's not that important. I mean, she's kind of important, but I don't even like this woman that much. She's a horrible mother. I'm gonna start with purple. No, pink, sorry. So, let me just get the color sheet out here. I'm going to be using the James Charles palette. I'm going to use this brush. It's kind of the fluffy brush, but it's a little flat. And I'm going to be putting the pink right here on my lid. In the middle of my lid. Right there. Okay, so Defending Jacob is basically about this boy named Jacob and his father named Andy, who is a lawyer, who is basically both his parents trying to defend him because he's been accused of murder. Yes. This boy, Ben, that goes to Jacob's school, dies and is found in a park that people often walk through, that Jacob just happens to walk through to get to school. And at the beginning, the only suspect is Jacob, because they find his fingerprint on Ben's collar, and they find out that he walks through that park to get to school. Now, there was another suspect, and this was the local pedophile, and he liked little boys. That's what it's called, right? A pedophile? Yeah, he liked little boys, and he happened to like Ben at the time, so they thought, oh, well, maybe he killed him, which I never actually thought that this pedophile, his name is Pats, we're gonna call him by his name because I don't want to keep saying pedophile. I never thought that Pats killed him because he likes looking at little boys. He doesn't kill them, though. He just, he enjoys looking at them, that's all. So I never thought that he killed him, because he had like a bunch of pictures in his phone of Ben, and yes, that's weird, but he's a pedophile, so it's normal for him, because it's it's bad, it's weird, it's not okay, but it makes sense, right? So I didn't think he killed him. Like, it seemed like he was in love with him or something, so it didn't make sense. But their first suspect was Jacob. They found his fingerprint on Ben's collar. But basically, how the first episode, there's a lockdown because I find Ben's body, so there's a lockdown at Jacob's school, and Jacob calls his dad, who happens to be the lead, helping the lead investigator on this case with for Ben. And Jacob calls his dad and is like, what's going on? His dad's like, oh, don't worry about it. And Jacob basically says, okay. I don't know why I explained that part. It's not that serious, but I just need you guys to know that Andy, Jacob's father, is helping with Ben's case. And so he stops helping with it when they find out that his son was implicated in the murder, which, spoiler alert, Jacob did not kill Ben. He admitted to not killing him. He said many times that he did not. Let's see what else happened. So then they start investigating Jacob, and they're trying to figure out who did this to Ben. They're trying to connect all the dots, and some stupid kids at school decide to post online, everyone knows you did it, Jacob. We saw your knife at school. This is really bad for Jacob. He does have a knife, which Andy, his father, decides to throw out once he finds out about it, because someone sent him the post that said, we saw your knife, we all know you did it. And he got very upset and scared. It's like, did you do this? Like, what do you mean? And from the very beginning, Andy always had confidence in Jacob and knew that he didn't do anything. He always believed him when he said, no, I didn't do it. And I believed him too. I mean, for a few minutes, and then I was like, yeah, he must have done it. I kept thinking he did it, and then he didn't do it, and then towards the end, I was like, he definitely did it, and you'll see why when I explain that. But anyway, he found the knife that Jacob had just bought, because he just wanted a knife, and I guess he thought it was nice. He threw it out. Technically, not illegal, not bad for the investigation, even though they did know that Ben was stabbed 3 times, so it makes Jacob look bad. But they did eventually find the knife, so it wasn't Jacob's knife. So, I guess he didn't do it, right? So yeah, this whole investigation goes on. They have a trial for Jacob. He ends up spending a night in jail because he gets arrested. And right when he gets arrested, he tells the officer, I didn't do it. I saw Ben and I went to see if he was okay. And then, so I turned him over and then I saw he wasn't okay. And I got scared because I thought everyone would blame it on me if I called the police. So I ran away. Not a good idea. He should have just called the police. I understand that he was scared, but none of this would have happened if he hadn't called the police. So next I'm going to do playground. With the same brush and put it right next to skip. So we find out that Jacob found Ben's body when he gets arrested, and his father's taken off the case because he can no longer be the lawyer for this case because his own son is implicated, and that's just not right. They go on this whole trial. They basically have to figure out if Jacob is guilty or not, and at the end, they decide that he is not guilty. They decide that Jacob is not guilty, even though there's this story. This kid is kind of stupid. Like, I feel bad for him because of how it ended, but he's kind of stupid. He posted a story under an alias that was basically just his initials, J-O-B, and it was about how Ben died, and it's described how he stabbed him 3 times and everything like that. And I was like, kid, why would you do that, right? Because you're you're already like a suspect because you go to his school, and Ben had been bullying him or teasing him, calling him names. So he has motive, right, to kill Ben, but he didn't. We have to remember that. Jacob didn't do it. They do a psych evaluation on him, and they find out that he has like a lack of empathy and tendencies to break out in violence, but none of this matters because he didn't do it. So all this evidence is presented. They decide that he's not guilty. He gets to go free, and they decide to go to Mexico. And, you know, you're happy for them. You're like, wow, he really didn't do it. But all this time, his mother still does not believe that Jacob didn't do it. She remembers this time when he was really small, and they were at a kid's birthday party, and him and some other kid were fighting on whose turn it was and who gets to use which bowling ball. And I guess this made Jacob upset. So he picked up a bowling ball from the rack and held it over his head and walked over to the kid, looking like he was about to bash him in the head with the bowling ball. But luckily his mom stopped him from doing that. And she just keeps remembering this, and because he's been tried for murder, she's thinking maybe he did do it. Even when he's pronounced guilty, she still at the back of her mind thinks he did this. Emily, that he killed Ben, which turns out not to be true. Pats didn't do it either. What really happened is Andy's father, what's his name? Billy? Bloody Billy was his name because he is in jail for murder and unwanted sexual intercourse, that's how I'm going to say it, to a woman. So he's been in jail for a while. Andy didn't really know him because he went in jail when he was 6, and he only went to see him once. He's never seen him since. So he had to go see him to get a sample from him to see if Jacob had the murder gene, they call it, which he did not. He just had a lack of empathy and violent tendencies. And so that's how we got back in touch with him. So his father thought it would be a good idea to send a man on the outside to protect him. So what he did is he sent this man, I can't remember what his name was, big buff, hard man, to protect them, to watch out for them. And at first he was just like tagging along by their house and would watch them in his car. And Andy noticed this. He went out to him. He was like, can you stop? Like, this is really weird. You're following my wife. You're watching us in our house. And he's like, I'm not doing anything. You don't worry about it. So then after that conversation, the next day, this guy goes to Pat's house, forces him to write a suicide note, and then he kills him. So Pats didn't actually commit suicide. It looked like the deal was he'd write a suicide note admitting to killing Ben, and then he'd leave because he had his bags ready to go, and then you see that he strangled him and made it look like he hung himself. Really sad. I mean, he was a pedophile, but he didn't deserve to die. And so no one knows this except for Andy. Okay? And they're at Mexico. And then something else happens in Mexico, and this is when I thought, okay, this kid definitely did it. He makes friends with this older girl, this high school girl who's in Mexico she's from Canada, and they make friends. He makes friends with this girl. They start hanging out while they're at Mexico, and he's like, oh, we're gonna go to a party. And his parents say, okay, cool. So he goes to this party with this girl, but halfway through he decides, I don't want to go anymore because they had some disagreement on something stupid. So he leaves. Next day, we find out this girl is missing. And that's when I said, he definitely did it. Okay? Because he was one of the only suspects in Ben's murder, and they never said who actually killed Ben. Like, they never actually figured it out. They all think that it was Pat's, because no one knows what actually happened to Pat's. But then once you know the truth of what happened to Pat's and that Pat's didn't do it, then you start to think Jacob did it again. And I was really disappointed in Jacob. I'm gonna take the color B now and put it right in the corner. Oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot of fallout. Just kind of, woo! I should tap that brush out. I'm gonna put it in the corner. Just go like that. That's a lot of fallout. My bad. I'm just trying to make like a little wing. So yeah, she turns up missing. And what made him seem suspicious, to me, is that he told his parents that he left his white shirt at the beach when he came home. And also, he didn't text them like he said he would, that he was coming home. Coming back to the hotel, I should say, from the beach like he said he would. So that was suspicious, but not to them. They immediately, when they saw that he was home, they didn't think that he did anything wrong or anything was happening until the next day when the police asked to question him. And that's when his mom went back to thinking, oh no, he did something. And that's when I was like, he definitely killed Ben. And he definitely killed this girl because of some stupid argument. I don't even remember what they were arguing about, but it was something stupid. Nothing to murder anyone. I mean, you shouldn't murder anyone anyways, but like, if you're going to murder someone, it shouldn't be over a stupid conversation about like a book or something. Like, that's just really dumb. And also, like, just don't murder people, guys. Like, just don't. Like, just don't. Period. It's not worth it. It's not worth your soul. It's not worth the jail time. No matter what. Anyway, so I definitely thought at this point that he had done it again. He killed someone. Because I knew Pats was innocent. So once I found out that Pats didn't do it, I thought, yeah, Jacob did it. Even though he showed no sign of like remorse or anything. So I just thought he was like a sociopath. And that made sense because he has lack of empathy. The psychiatrist, she told us this. So it made sense that he would be able to do this and be able to say, no, I didn't do it with such a straight face and seem so honest. But then we find out like 2 days later, the girl was found. She's alive. She's fine. What really happened is some random boy at the party drugged her and took her to his house. So she's okay. I mean, maybe a little traumatized, but she's fine otherwise. Not his fault. And they immediately go home. Yeah, okay, I think that looks fine. So now I'm gonna try and do some B, just going under here a little bit. So then after that happens, I notice, okay, maybe he didn't do it because she's alive. But I still think that he probably killed Ben. And I think that was just meant to be like a plot twist, like, oh, you guys thought that he was innocent? No, he's not. But really, yes, he is. So then they go home. And throughout this whole show, they cut back to Andy, Jacob's father, be on trial by himself in front of a jury, and we're trying to, he's asking him things to go along with what's happening in the present, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why is he on trial? Did Jacob kill somebody again? And that's why all this made sense, that yes, he did kill Ben, and now they're revisiting it, which they actually can't do. They can't try someone twice for the same crime. So they go home and they decide they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave that town that they live in. They're gonna go live somewhere else. They start packing. They put their house up for sale. And then something horrible happens. So I'm gonna take more of B using this brush. I don't know what these brushes are called, but I'm just gonna show. His mom takes... Oh, sorry, you can't even see that. his mom takes Jacob for a drive. I don't remember where they were supposed to be going, but she starts driving really fast, and she's just completely consumed with this. She doesn't believe Jacob at all. She doesn't think that he didn't do it, especially after Andy told her that Pats actually didn't do it. So she really doesn't believe. And you know what she did? She threw out Jacob's baby pictures. Like, almost as if she was disowning him. And I thought that was really horrible. So then we find out that this trial that Andy is on is to prove his wife's innocence in the murder of their son. Because what she does is she takes Jacob on this drive, and they're driving, everything's okay, and then she starts speeding up, and she starts yelling at him, "Did you do it? Did you do it?" And he's like, "Mom, slow down. I didn't do it. No." And she's like, You're okay now. You don't have to lie. Just tell me the truth." And he's like, "Fine, I did it." And she was like, "Really? Well, you did it?" And he's like, "Yes, whatever you want. Just slow down." And you could tell he didn't actually do it. So I'm gonna take this brush and do more beat. I just need it to be like thinner. I go right under my eye, up until here, up until the middle. And so he didn't actually do it, guys. Like, that's important to remember. Jacob did not do this, okay? He has a lack of empathy and violent tendencies, but he did not do it. He saw Ben's body, he got scared, he ran away, he left him there. Okay, that's the truth. But he didn't do it. And he did write a story about Ben's death. But you know what? He was fantasizing about killing him. It's kind of normal because he bullied him. But he did this after it was known that he was dead, and the police said, "Oh, he was stabbed 3 times." So he knew all the details because everyone knew all the details. It was in the media. But what ends up happening is the mom really doesn't believe him while they're in this car drive. She starts speeding up, and she decides she can't do this anymore. She's like, "I can't do this anymore. I can't live with this." And she drives them right into, there's like this dome thing that you would go through, and she drives them into the wall. And so Andy's defense, while he's being tried for justice for Jacob, he says, "Oh, well, it was raining, she lost control, it was an accident." He just keeps on saying it's an accident because he's in denial. He doesn't want to throw his wife under the bus. But it was very much not an accident. You could tell. She was ready to take them both down. She had disowned him because she truly didn't believe that he was innocent. So he is in a coma now, and it ends with the jury deciding that she is not guilty, and he goes to see them in the hospital. He goes to see Jacob first. We see he's in a coma. He's on the ventilator. He's on the machine. I'm going to take this brush again and put it in Social Blade. And then we go to see the mom, who is totally okay. She has a few bruises or whatever, but she's fine. She's going to make up. Jacob, however, I found out online that he does die. This show is based off of a book that was written, and in the book he dies upon impact, so he doesn't even make it to get treatment. He just dies. And so she's fine. Seems that she has lost her memory, and she asks, like, "What was the verdict?" And he says, "Oh, no indictment, so she's not going to jail, and she's not guilty." But she is guilty. She totally did that on purpose. And she's so happy. And she's like, "Oh, I went to Jacob's room and I read to him." She probably doesn't even remember how much she didn't believe him. So that's why I don't like this mother. Because she tried to kill her own child and herself. Like, who does that? What kind of mother does that? Like, if your child tells you 1,000 times that they did not do it. No, the whole time, Jacob's father, Andy, he always believed that he didn't do it. Even when he found out about the story, he asked Jacob, did you do it? And Jacob said, no, I didn't. And he still believed him. And I was like, good on you for trusting your child. But the mother? No. Mother was just like, I don't believe you, so we both gotta die. Not okay. So then, the thing that frustrates me just a little bit is that they never said who killed Ben. And I told my mom this, and she's like, it's not about that. So I'm going to take this again and get artistry and put it in the corner of my eye. And then put it out a little bit onto the green. And so yeah, my mom was like, it's not about who killed Ben. It's called defending Jacob. It's about defending Jacob. And I was like, you're right. That's true. But also, at the same time, you've done that, okay? We did the whole show defending Jacob. You defended Jacob twice. Now, let's get justice for Ben. Like, I really need to know who killed Ben. I need to know. It's important for me. Because it's annoying. We know who killed Pats, and we know that he didn't do it, but we don't get to know who killed Ben. Like, I get it's about defending Jacob, but we did that, so we should... I just really want to know who killed Ben. I just really want to know. And I googled it for like 30 seconds last night, and I couldn't find any information on who killed Ben. But you know what? It's fine. I really have no clues as to who could have done it, though. I don't know. But, that was the only thing that was frustrating for me, is that they wouldn't tell us who killed Ben. So I'm going to take this brush again, and I'm going to put it in artistry, and I'm going to do some right here to blend it into the pink, or the skip color. Is it even coming on the brush? Okay. But yeah, defending Jacob, if you have Apple TV, I strongly recommend it. It's a really good show. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. And you never know what's... I mean, if you've watched this whole video, now you know what's coming. But hopefully you don't watch this video. I mean, if you're watching it now, then you've already watched it. Never mind. Never mind. Just never mind. Just ignore that last comment. But yeah, that was a good show. 5 out of 5. I googled the Rotten Tomato score and it was 79%. I guess that's fair. Probably because people are upset that they didn't announce who actually killed Ben. But I guess it wouldn't make sense to say, oh, this person actually did it, because, like, no one else knows that Pats didn't actually kill Ben. So there would be no way to... There would be no scenario where somebody could come out and say, hey, actually, this guy did it. So I guess it really wouldn't make sense. Unless they found out that it wasn't actually Pat's, there would be no right scenario to say who actually did it. Even if you did watch this whole video, I would still watch Defending Jacob, because it's still an interesting show, even if you know what's going on already. Okay, I think I'm done. Yeah? Yeah, do we like a lot? I'm gonna touch up. Over here looks like I put some blue, so I'm gonna put some more artistry right there. I love sparkles so much. I love that James Charles's palette has sparkles. Woo! Let me try and blend that though. Yes, yes. Do we like? I like. I think I like. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put a little bit of foundation. I thought I would need more foundation because like when there's fallout, sometimes this brush that I use to like wipe it off, it doesn't take it off properly, so I'm gonna get some foundation to cover that up a little bit. And then I think I should do my eyebrows, right? Or maybe I won't. I don't really need to do my eyebrows. My eyebrows are kind of okay. All right. Let me just put some lip gloss on, and I'm not gonna do any eyeliner. I kind of got like a wing already with the eyeshadow, so I think, whoo, I don't know why my stand is doing that. I think that's good enough. Get some lip gloss. And that is my finished look. And my light is dying. Forever dying, my light. That's great. So that's the look. Based off of this sweatshirt. Okay, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the makeup tutorial and me talking about defending Jacob. I hope you go watch it, and yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. Okay, bye!